and Missouri all have their highest score in SEC championship history. So it was a great session one. The second session coming up now features the 4 top seeds in the SEC, Florida, LSU, Alabama, and Auburn. These teams, by the way, happen to be 4 of the top 6 teams in the country. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Man, we are set for what could be a thrilling night of gymnastics here in North Little Rock. Now, if history is any guide, any one of these 4 teams could win it all tonight.
I watched every minute of warm-ups, and I have to say, the amplitude and bigness of the release moves, the vaults, the tumbling, it was unbelievable. I think all 4 of these teams are ready to go big, go hard, and fight for every, dare I say, half a tenth of a point. I think it could be that close.
It'll likely come down to the minute details tonight. All 4 of these teams have had terrific seasons.
Unbelievable. Auburn, who knocked off Alabama for the first time in their season. Amazing moment for that team. Lauren Beers, the mama bear of Alabama, came up with a perfect 10 in the regular season.
And they're going for a three-peat tonight.
Absolutely. And LSU with Ashley Natt and her 5-10s, as great as that is, they are equally hot as a team.
And they haven't won the title since back in 1981. And, of course, Florida is Florida. They're the 3-time reigning NCAA team champions. They know how to win.
Always tough to beat.
Okay, don't miss the fireworks. It's a 4-ring circus here from North Little Rock. The coveted SEC team title is on the line tonight. We're glad you've joined us. When we come back, rotation 1.
I'm a warm spring breeze.
I've got like 7 billion fans worldwide.
Poets want to write about me.
Next step.
Women's College Gymnastics is brought to you by Regions Bank, proud to be the official bank of the SEC.
We're back in Little Rock, and I think Florida's Bridget Sloan said it best. Every team tonight is gunning for that first place spot, and those guns are loaded. The reigning national champion said this is her favorite meet of the year, and she said Florida's here to win it, but they'll have to get past Alabama, the reigning SEC champions. And Lauren Beers told me they're staying in their Bama bubble. They're focused on nothing but themselves. They're not talking about other teams. They're hoping their passion and fire will fuel them, and she said their team cares more than anyone else. Now, Auburn is talking about Alabama, and that's because they beat them this year, making history. They think they can do it again, and they're certainly going to try tonight. And then there's LSU, the team on a roll. Ashley Natt told me head coach Dee Dee Bro always gets a little tense around SECs, but she hasn't been that way this year. She's been different, and she's been calming them down, keeping them focused and encouraged.
Okay, we got a 4-box competition here. This is the all-around channel. So all 4 events going simultaneously. We are going to go to the beam, the critical event in this championship typically, and Keely McNear gets the call for the leadoff spot for Alabama.
And most teams would not want to start on the balance beam. Alabama loves it. They've done it a number of times and succeeded mightily in opening on this event.
In fact, this is the 3rd year in a row they come into this championship ranked 3rd, and they've won the previous 2. So if this bodes well for their chances, Alabama looking good starting on beam.
Well, it's all about, as Laura mentioned, staying in your bubble, not getting distracted at all by anything else, but use the energy in the arena to hyper-focus, but stay in the moment, don't get ahead of yourself.
Alabama ranked 3rd in the country on this event. This is their highest ranked event.
This is such a stellar start by Keely McNear in the opening position. Lead-off balance beam is as critical as it gets.
Once again, you hear cheering all around this arena here in North Little Rock. It's because 4 events are going simultaneously. So we are going to cover all of them. And if you aren't seeing what you want to see here on the broadcast, make sure you go to the Watch ESPN online or the ESPN app, and you can customize your own coverage and make sure you do not miss a routine from your favorite team. Boy, these young ladies are so ramped up. We've covered them since January 16th, all the way the regular season, but now everything's on the line, and Bridget Sloan is up for Florida. She is a winner.
And very few can focus as intensely as this competitor. Technically incredible. Wow, she went with a full. Amazing. That was an unusual call, but she nailed it. We've talked about this all season. The Yurchenko full has been downgraded to a 9.95. The 1.5 is a 10.0 start value.
Just moments ago, Maya Hambrick, LSU, easily the hottest team in the SEC right now, coming off their last 4 big meets. She started on bars. A
tremendous all-around performer, and she has come on so strong this year. In her sophomore year, she's like a different gymnast. So confident. Look at her attack, that handstand position. It's exactly what the judges are looking for. Half in, half out, and nails the landing.
And she's coming off a 9.825 from Jessica Savona, who led them off. Alicia Boren now for Florida.
And this can be big. It's a 1.5. And beautiful on the landing. Almost got the stick, but it was so nice in the air. Great amplitude. Pretty good form as well. You combine those two, and you got a dynamite combination. Keep in mind in the Coda points, this is scored from a 10.0. Little leg separation, but look how she fights for that perfect landing position and just a teeny hop.
Bridget Sloan before her, a 9.875. Bridget Caquato, a 9.85. The low score there so far for Florida on vault is a 9.8. Mackenzie Brannon now, the sophomore from Austin, Texas, up for Alabama on the beam.
Finishing off a very solid routine, 1.5 twist.
Kennedy Baker now for Florida on vault.
This is another 1.5 twist, and it's a big one. Wow, that is huge. I cannot tell you the combination of level of difficulty, technique and form, amplitude, and then you cap it off. Watch this. Times the block so beautifully, tight position in the air.
Alicia Boren's score is in. It's a 9.9.
Wow, and now they take a look at this vault. That's exciting.
And the final vaulter for Florida will be Alex McMurtry. We've seen her score a perfect 10 a year ago.
Well, this could be the perfect storm because her form is so gorgeous. It's probably the best technique-wise in the country.
Kennedy Baker had a 9.95.
The highest this can score is a 9.95. Beautiful in the air, but she was a pogo stick on the landing. Unfortunately, they will take a deduction on the landing, but no doubt the vault is gorgeous in the air, opens those arms out. She was so amped up, and then you add the speed on the runway because they're up on a podium. Wow.
Okay, as we said, this is going to go fast and furious. Now, Florida is done with the vault rotation. Lexi Priestman, what a story. She missed several meets this year with a broken foot, had surgery in the middle of the season. She competed last week against TWU in her first meet back after the surgery.
And went 9.925. This is critical to have her back in the lineup on this event. Oh, she struggled just a little bit with the transition down to the low bar, just had to muscle that.
Maya Hambrick before her, by the way, 9.925. Randy Wyrick, a 9.8.
Sets up for the dismount. Watch how she popped open that double layout position to show that off before she spots for the landing.
Just moments ago, Mary Lillian Sanders for Alabama on the beam.
And what a phenomenal story here. Tough athlete, very mentally tough. which is exactly why she's earned this spot. She went to Ranger training, and after coming back from that, she went to the coach and said, because they were struggling on beam, they had some spots they really needed to fill, I can do this. I can do it. And when you have that kind of confidence, Coach Dana Dobransky said, I'm going with this. This is what my team needs. This is what every athlete needs.
Dana Duckworth, I think.
Dana Duckworth.
We've known these young ladies
flashing back to
their maiden names.
Maiden names, their competitive days.
Yeah, that's the kind of athlete who steps forward and says, okay, I got this. Count on me. And that's what a coach is looking for here, especially in the postseason.
And I meant officer training, by the way. Her leadership skills have been outstanding. And not only that, look at the beam work that she does. High on toe. That's just beautiful beam work as well. Great difficulty. Nerves of steel. A leader on and off the floor. Couldn't quite get the stick, but wow, what a routine. Good for her.
Okay, Laura's got more on Alabama.
Well, Bart, their word this week is fire, and they always have a word every week. They're really embodying that down here on this beam rotation, and something that Dana really wanted them to focus on, being cool and calm on the outside, but having that passion and fire on the inside. She keeps reminding every girl that goes up on beam, remember, fire. Stay focused on what we're here to do.
Okay, well, you see over there Jay Clark, the associate head coach at LSU, concerned about the fall on bars. What happened there?
Sarah Finnegan missed her release move, and she'd done so beautifully all season long with this routine. And in the warm-ups, she was fine, just a little too far out to make the grasp. Now, so that's a fall. It's 0.5 of a point off. Obviously, that's the score that LSU will look to drop in this competition. But notice how they all gather around each other. This is team gymnastics at its best. You have to have each other's back.
Good time to bring up the points. 6 athletes on each event for each team. Just the top 5 scores count towards a team total. So you can drop a low score if you have a unfortunate routine. And so puts a little extra pressure on the final performer, Shea Zamardi. Just moments ago, Alabama's Asia Sims.
What a terrific balance beam worker this young lady is. She is so tough in competition and can really show off what she does best on this event. She has come up clutch for them time and time again.
Alabama's score started off with a 9-9 for McNear.
Back handsman layout, step out. Excellent work so far.
Kenzie Brannon had a 9-8. Mary Lillian Sanders a 9-7-7-5.
Gorgeous position in the air, as always, on that straddle jump. I love that she goes up high on toe, really shows off every element of this routine. Now she does a big dismount, a double back. You still need to stick it, even though the difficulty is much greater. Almost got the stick.
So after Sarah Finnegan's score, 9-3-2-5 came in. Just moments ago, Shea Zamardi on the bars for LSU. This is a critical routine.
And this is why you practice pressure sets in the gym, to handle any situation that comes your way, to settle your thoughts, focus on the routine. And this is a good one to end with. It's unique. Got great variety of skills like this one right here. Markelov, which is that half twist, and then you go backwards over the bar.
She's been their go-to anchor performer.
Dismount, nice half twist into the double front. Nice comeback.
Okay, so there will be a good score there. They will drop the 9-3-2-5. So 2 9-8s, a 9-8-2-5, and a 9-9-2-5 for LSU on bars. So vault, Florida is done. LSU is done with bars. And let's go down to Laura.
Bart, we'll see Lexis Demers for Auburn on floor, and she's dealing with a right shoulder injury, but really where it bothers her the most is on some of her dance moves in this floor routine. So they've taken some of those out, changed them a little bit so she doesn't have to move it up and down or swing it around.
Okay, thank you, Laura. I asked one of the coaches on the sideline in practice yesterday, I said, are you guys healthy? And he goes, is anybody healthy at this point in the season?
Especially as a fifth-year senior, that's a lot of gymnastics, a lot of hard gymnastics, and managing the health of your body. She had a hurt ankle early in the season, but now she seems quite fine, though it is heavily taped. Opens with a full in. Nicely done.
Auburn currently ranked 6th as a team. Their highest individual event ranking is on floor exercise, where they're 6th. Their lowest is balance beam, where they're tied for 15th.
Oh, big step out of that. They will take the deduction there. You really have to show the control before you go into the next step or lunge.
It's been so much fun to follow the progress of this team. Coach Jeff Graba is in his 7th season there. 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, and last year they made the Super 6 final at the NCAA Championship. It was historic on many levels. And this year, to get the win over Alabama, the first time in 37 years, was epic in the state of Alabama.
It's been a spectacular rise for this team. Pike double back, nice finish. Very well done by this senior.
Very good scores for Auburn on the floor. 2 9.85s, 2 9.875s. Nikki Guerrero, the anchor performer for Alabama on the beam. Just
Laura
before her, the score for Kiana Winston in at 9.85. Asia Sims at 9.875.
Laura mentioned the fire and ice that Dana Dobransky talks about, and Duckworth, I did it again. And that is exactly what she wants to see. The fight, the fire that comes from within, but then you have to have the ice water in the veins to calm any nerves. And even if it's not nerves, the adrenaline that you have when you're on balance beam, you have to channel that. Has been exceedingly consistent throughout the season and performing one of the more difficult routines. Opened with that 3-element series, added an aerial cartwheel toward the end of the routine. All that's left is the dismount. Oh, couldn't quite get the stick. 1.5 twists. Keep in mind, this meet could be so tight that all those little hops could add up.
Very good scores actually for Alabama on the beam. Only one score in the 9.9 range though. Caitlin Atkinson will be the final performer for Auburn. Lexis Demers before her at 9.8. So Auburn off to a very solid start on floor. Auburn known for its explosive, high level of difficulty gymnastics.
And particularly the power in this routine. Full in, very controlled on the landing. Any of those athletes doing the big E passes like that one, highest level of difficulty, will be aided being on the podium. Gives you a lot of extra bounce.
Hard to believe Caitlin Atkinson is a senior this year. She has really been one of the most important game changers at Auburn. When she came in, she brought a level of expert performance and difficulty that has really reset the bar for the whole program.
That's as well as she has done that pass. Sometimes there's a little trouble with that jump, but not today. That was done really well. And it's interesting, Bart, being a senior has really created emotional energy for her that she's had to deal with and control as she goes into these very big meets that are so important to her. Wow. Nice. Talk about handling a lot of pressure, a lot of bounce from that podium, and she did remarkably well with that routine.
She owns a piece of every scoring record at Auburn, as she should. Caitlin Atkinson, great job. All right, well, Alabama survived the beam, and our Laura is with Coach Dana Duckworth.
Well, thank you, Bart. And Dana, how did your beam team have ice water in their veins in this environment?
This was amazing to start this way. They were calm, they were cool, and they were confident. And I'm so pleased with the way they started. We just got to stay this way and just keep on fighting.
You told them to carry that confidence over into floor. What's the key to doing that?
Just doing what we did yesterday and today. We are prepared. These ladies have put the work in and they are confident. And I think that if we just relax, be smart, have fun, then anything's possible.
Thank you, Dana. She can pump you up, right, Bart?
Oh, yeah. She's my go-to person if I need a motivational speaker, I tell you what. Okay, Alabama has survived the beam. That is usually the make-or-break event in women's gymnastics. We'll come back with the second rotation right after this. The first of 4 rotations in this second session of the SEC Championship complete. Florida, terrific on vault, 49.425. Less than a tenth of a point ahead of Auburn, who had an outstanding opening rotation on floor. Alabama in third, and LSU had an uncharacteristic fall on bars there in fourth. Bridget Kakwata did a nice job for Florida.
They really started very well over here. I saw in the warm-ups they were going to go big. They definitely fought hard for those landings. That's one of her better ones of the entire season.
Florida using 4 all-arounders in this competition, including Alicia Boren.
And high-level difficulty, 1.5 twists, great landings to top it off. That sets them up really nicely.
Jessica Savona started them off on bars for LSU.
They were really in a good rhythm. Jessica Savona started them off really, really well on this event. And Alabama really handled the pressure, opening up on balance beam. Dana Duckworth so proud of this team, off to a great start and have beam behind them. And Cullen Lowick was outstanding on the floor, getting this team off and running to have a great rotation on the floor exercise, putting them in second place.
Okay, Coach Dee Bro at LSU said it's going to come down to the beam. Let's see if they can handle the pressure in this second rotation when we come back. Now let's take a look at Desiree Bryant's journey, brought to you by Belk.
I remember at school, we used to race before class. I was really fast, so a lot of the time I would race a lot of the guys and I would beat them. I didn't expect my journey to be like this. My dream, to make the Olympic team this summer, I dream of it all the time.
Both of us as Olympians, Kathy, we can understand what her dream's all about. I'll be down in Rio cheering her on, so we wish Desiree Bryant the best of luck with her Olympic dreams. Okay, we're set now for the second of 4 rotations, and as we said at the top of the show, this one is anybody's. Now, Florida, they're the 3-time reigning NCAA champions. They did a nice job in the opening round. Auburn in second, Alabama third. LSU in fourth, but they're going to have to go to the balance beam. As we said at the top of the show, 4 events going simultaneously. This is really a 4-ring circus, so make sure you customize your own screen experience at home if you'd like to.
And LSU definitely has some ground to make up. They had the unfortunate miss, and it was a missed opportunity because it was on a routine that normally scores very big for them on the uneven bars. Sarah Finnegan had an uncharacteristic miss, but I tell you what, this is an event where they can make up ground. These first 2 gymnasts of their rotation are spectacular here in every way.
Erin McAdag, the leadoff performer, and you're right, this 1-2 punch for LSU to start off beam, they're just world class.
In every area, they have so much difficulty spread throughout their routine, so they're well constructed. They hit these gorgeous positions in the air on their leaps, and she performs on balance beam.
Sophomore from Redwood City, California, ranked 21st in the country on beam, and she's the leadoff performer. Typically, the scores are a little tight on the first one up.
It's nice to see when athletes go above and beyond in certain areas. And there are really 3 different areas: in level difficulty, or artistry and performance, or then in technique and form.
Oh my goodness. Good save.
That's not something that I would have expected. She really had it, had to lift that front foot up, and then that threw her further off balance. Gainer full off the side. Everything was spot on except for that one mistake, and she knows it. She'd love to have that skill back.
Alicia Boren, we saw her do a nice vault for Florida in the first rotation. Here she goes to the bars. Once again, I mentioned 4 all-arounders for Florida, so 3/4 of their scores come from just 4 gymnasts.
Looking strong with her release move. I saw most of the gymnasts really pushing the handstands in warm-ups, even trying to overdo it a couple times to find out how much is too much, so they know exactly how hard to go for those handstands. Very nicely done, double layout.
Kennedy Baker led them off with a 9-9. That's quite a way to start the first bar performer. Okay, we'll see what Maya Hambrick can do for LSU on the beam. That's where we're headed next. Obviously, after the leadoff performance from McAdaig showed just a little nerves. And one of the things Coach Dee Bro told us, she's trying to find her right sideline persona as well. And she said, I want to make sure I have the kids ready, but I don't want them jumping out of their skin. Go down to Laura.
Bard, Maya Hambrick has turned into such a different gymnast this year. She said last year at the SEC, she was just trying to get in the vault lineup. Now she's such a constant for this team. The main key was figuring out how to do her gymnastics. Even when she's slightly off, she can have success there too.
Interesting that you bring that up. She was slightly off on that aerial cartwheel, but she saved it, just as you said she would, and that she's worked so hard to be able to do, and not every athlete can do that.
McAdaig's leadoff score was a 9.85, so not too bad.
It's really important that, just like that move right there, to be able to cover a slight error, cover it well, because you are fighting, as I said at the very beginning of the show, for half-tenths point, quarter-tenths of a point. The dismount is a beautiful double twist. Very well done. I have to remind everybody how much pressure these athletes are feeling, and they're handling it.
Alexis Demers now for Auburn on the vault.
This is a Yurchenko full. It has improved every single year, and now she put it all together, got good height and distance and the landing.
Now, Auburn had a great start on floor. Their scores on vault haven't been particularly good, from 9.6 to 9.7, 7.5. Let's go down to Laura.
Jeff Graba told his team right before vault, remember, stretch through, think about your toes, think about those little details. The only one he said that didn't apply to was Caitlin Atkinson, because it can get in her head too much, but he wanted the rest of them to really focus on those details in vault.
Scores are a little bit tight for Auburn over there. Nothing in the 9.8 range yet. See what they come up with Demers.
I think the judges are really looking for amplitude. Huge vaults, not just the landing.
Four events going simultaneously once again. Oh! MJ Roth.
It's a nice dynamic vault by MJ Roth. So much power she gets from her run. Oh, nice block, good timing, nice position in the air. And she did just as Jeff Graba said. Think about your toes, your legs, stretch.
Florida's Bridget Kakwata now on bars.
Now the last 3 performers for Florida on bars really do a great job in terms of amplitude. Wow, went for that handstand big time. Had a tiny little sway at the back, but they are really going for every little bit. They're going for broke. That's her best double layout of the season. Sometimes she gets hung up in the air and looks like she's working too hard up there. Much better.
Bianca Dancos Giambattista before her had an impressive 9.925. Caitlin Atkinson now for Auburn on the vault.
This can be a big 1.5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she was thinking about that landing just a hair too soon. Just a hair too soon. She had it right there. And you really have to learn how to freeze your feet if you're going to go for a stick. Open up those arms. Just slightly underdone, but a nice vault.
So she's the final vaulter for Auburn. So their meet is actually halfway complete. They've done floor and vault. Bridget Sloan, who has won just about everything in women's collegiate gymnastics. And in fact, she has scored a perfect 10 on all 4 events during her collegiate career.
She can be truly special on this event because of her technique. She's got one minute little blemish right there where she so quickly flexes her toes, but the rest, look at the straight body from her hands to her toes, and that's just a perfect handstand right there. The flow is beautiful. She finishes every skill. And watch this. Her trademark is often a stuck landing out of the double layup. She just slightly shifted that 1 foot back to a very elegant position to show off the stick.
Sydney Ewing coming to the beam now for LSU. Maya Hambrick had a 9.85 after Macadake's 9.85.
They had a low score of a 9.65. Juliana Canamella. It's just a little bit shaky. So they really want to step it up here. Nice difficulty, lay out to 2 feet. LSU goes above and beyond, especially in the area of difficulty on this event. They add skills that they don't technically need, but boy, when they hit, it pays off dividends because of going above and beyond. Like this combination right here, watch this. Layout step out into, she didn't do it. She was off, so she couldn't connect it. She normally does a split jump out of that.
Ewing, the junior from Lafayette, Louisiana, took 3rd on the beam at the 2014 NCAAs as a walk-on.
This team is fighting through. They're a little bit tight, but not there. That was a beauty. They were just a tiny bit tight. It comes with the pressure of this big meet, but they are fighting through.
You hear cheering all around this building. Remember, 4 events going simultaneously. Just moments ago, Alex McMurtry on the bars. Look at her season average.
Remember,
over 9.9.
I talked about amplitude. Watch this release move. It's as big as it gets, and she turns it over and reaches out for the regress. Makes it that much more spectacular.
We've seen her score a 10 earlier this year on this event.
And the dismount is gorgeous. Typically, let's see what it does here. And a half in, half out. Nails the landing.
She's one of the 4 all-arounders. It's a rare opportunity to see her in the all-around, typically because of back stress fracture. She doesn't do the floor exercise, but she's going to go for all 4 tonight.
And she added that skill this year, and it's made all the difference on this routine. Really needed that skill.
She was somewhat criticized last year for not having a big single bar release, and now she's got one of the best in the country.
Makes a big difference in her score and just the overall appearance of the routine.
So before her, Bridget Sloan had a 9.9. McMurtry's score is in 9.925. So Florida with a very impressive 98.925 after vault and bars, their first 2 events. Let's go to Lauren Beers. Alabama's on the floor and good scores. Let's go to Laura.
Well, Bart, Lauren Beer is, of course, a senior for Alabama, and as Kathy mentioned earlier, she's the mama bear of this team. She cares so much about everything with them, but she said that getting senior night at Alabama out of the way helps her a little bit with some of the emotions here. She said this is like a different season. She's in postseason mode, and she's ready to win. She's seen a whole new focus from this Alabama team.
It's a great position to be in because she can come up big on this event. Double layout. That's, she made it. She stayed in bounds. I thought she might roll her ankle, however, so it's good to see her protect that.
Good scores for Alabama. Kiana Winston in 9.95, Mackenzie Brannon in 9.9, and 2 9.875 for Amanda Jeter and Katie Bailey.
Every tumbling pass is critical. They're competing with the level of difficulty and also with these landings, showing complete control.
It's very interesting what happened last year at these championships. Florida came in with all the national team members and NCAA championships. LSU came in undefeated and the hot team. And then Alabama just quietly said, oh, by the way, we'll take the title. And they won it by being cool.
And consistent. Final pass is a tuck double back. Very high. Got the landing. Nice to see her do so well in this situation. They're counting on a big routine and a big score, and she delivered. At least with the routine. We'll see what the score is.
Ashley Nat set to go on the beam for LSU in their final performance. Sarah Finnegan before her, a 9.925.
A spectacular comeback for that young lady. She had the unfortunate fall on bars and came back so solid on beam.
So the score they're hoping to replace is Juliana Canamella's 9.65. Great opportunity for Ashley Nat here.
Her nickname is Bugs, and it's so perfectly fits her. She's quick as can be, fun, just a happy child, as Coach Dee Dee Bro describes her.
5 times this year she scored perfect 10s on the floor and vault together.
And she's actually incredibly tough on this event, very mentally strong, has earned this anchor spot. And if you'll remember back to last year, they had Jessie Jordan in this anchor spot, who was just the ice queen and could come up with, fight. Yep, little arm swing there.
Last year, the 5 amazing seniors for LSU weren't able to get it done at the SEC championship.
What's good to see here, though, is they're not perfect, but they are fighting. They're not giving up at all and covering up those little errors very well.
LSU finished less than a 10th of a point behind Alabama last year.
Watch this double twist, opens up her arms.
Oh, nice.
I love the way she does that.
Boy, they're going to replace that 9.65, so LSU has to be thrilled with that rotation on the beam. Carly Sims is the last athlete in this rotation, the anchor performer on floor for Alabama. Lauren Beers has a 9.875.
And she throws her double layout. Good for her. She has had quite the season. Fight back from surgery on her ankle to remove bone chips. She was out several meets, and she has worked so hard to get back in the condition she needs to be in. So much fun in this routine. Much stronger. Pike double back. She is back.
It's interesting, of all 4 events, Alabama's ranked 8th on floor. They're lowest of the 4, but boy, they're known for powerful tumbling and high degree of difficulty.
Very nicely done. Improved on her tumbling passes. Landed much more upright with the chest up on those landings.
Okay, Auburn is currently in 4th spot. And Laura is down with Coach Jeff Graber right now.
All right, thank you, Bart. And Coach, a great start on floor. You said pressing a little bit on vault. What did you see there?
Well, I think the girls were excited about floor, and rightfully so. We did a good job. I think when we went to vault, they just tried a little too hard. You can't try for the stick. You've got to do a big vault and let the stick happen. And, you know, we maybe pressed a little bit, but they're a young team. I want them to get back on a roll now.
Halfway through, how do you get back on a roll?
Well, we're good at bars. We feel bars is a really good event for us. We're excited about it. So, you know, they've got to start over. And we've worked all year about if it's a good event or a bad event, you got to leave it behind and start over 4 times. So we'll see if they can do that again.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at the halfway point in the SEC Championship, session number 2, explosive gymnastics. Here are the scores. Okay, we're at the halfway point in the second session of the SEC Championship. Here are the scores. Florida in the lead. 15/100ths of a point ahead of Alabama. LSU in third. And Auburn in fourth. Take a look at some of the highlights in the second rotation. Kathy?
And Auburn kind of got ahead of themselves a little, thinking about the sticks way too much. You got to hit the vault big in the air. Just got a little excited because of how well they had done on floor exercise. And Florida was just fantastic on the uneven bars. Bianca Dancos Giambattista was so elegant, so beautiful. Huge score after this super routine. And Sarah Finnegan, wow. Great to see her come back after her fall on bars. Very tough. Beautiful on this event as well, and went 9.95. And Kiana Winston on floor exercise. Alabama showing off some big, very big tumbling runs on this event. Look at the height.
Alabama and LSU have both done beam. So the leaders have yet to go there, and that's coming up for Florida when we come back. The Gators on the beam. Okay, we're set now here in North Little Rock for the third rotation. Once again, here are the scores. Florida in the lead, just by 15/100ths of a point over Alabama, which is ahead of LSU by 2/10, and Auburn means that the top 4 teams here in the SEC are separated just by about a half a point. That's how close it is every year, isn't it, Catherine?
I think I mentioned we're going to fight for every half a tenth of a point.
Okay, once again, all 4 events going simultaneously. Alabama goes to the vault where they are spectacular. But guess what? Comes down to beam many times, and that's where Florida has to go. Kennedy Baker's first.
She is the top-ranked all-arounder in the nation at present. Very solid on this event as well.
Florida ranked second in the country on this event.
They have been quite good, very steady throughout the course of the season. I mean, the one thing nice about having all-arounders is they stay completely loose and warmed out throughout the competition rather than having to sit out an event and come in onto balance beam. Nice start for Florida, an excellent beginning.
Florida with an 8-2 record, 5-2 in the SEC. They lost by 5/100ths at Georgia, and then at home versus LSU. Let's go to Laura.
Bart, Jenny Rowland had just told Kennedy Baker before that routine, I can tell you all this stuff about technical things, but remember, it's just about heart.
How nice. Jenny Rowland in her first season. Of course, Florida, the 3-time defending NCAA champions. They did all of that under Rhonda Fain, who was there for 13 seasons. Nikki Guerrero set for Alabama on the vault.
And look at her talking to herself. A lot of going on in this vault. 1.5 twist.
Nice.
Wow. Wow. The best part was the landing. Absolutely. That is something to dance about and jump and hop. It's exactly what she wanted. Tiny little form things in the air, but wow, what a landing.
And it wasn't particularly high, but boy, she knows how to judge the landing, huh?
Absolutely. It's the last thing the judges see. Yes, there are some leg separations, little leg bent, and it's not super high, but when that's the last thing you see, that affects the judges.
Now, Keely McNear had a 9.75 in their leadoff performance, which is not a huge score. Typically, Alabama booms, big vaults. Important lineup change for Florida here. Peyton Ernst is going to get set to go on the beam for the Gators.
And I have to say, I watched the warm-ups from across the arena, and when I saw Peyton warming up, and she's gone back to her other series, the one she started the season with, and she was just rock solid. I thought this is a good choice in terms of the lineup change. She can be really pretty on this event. Watch the flexibility, the poise.
Freshman from Coppell, Texas, did her club training at Texas Dreams. Two-time member of the senior national team.
Front toss, very solid. You can really see how deliberately she is performing every step, not just every skill, but every step.
Florida has 6 athletes that have represent their national teams.
This is the front aerial, right into the back tuck. Very risky for your series, and she nailed it. Some of the other gymnasts do a back handspring there. It's showing a little bit more difficulty, a little more risk. And if you hit it, it pays off. Same thing with that sheep jump, a more difficult jump. Very good coaching move, and it paid off.
A lot of high fives going down for the Gators.
Absolutely. You got to go with what's hot, and that was hot in warm-ups.
Just moments ago for Alabama, Mackenzie Brannon on vault.
Bart, you mentioned going big, and they went way big on that vault right there.
9.95 for Mackenzie Brannon. That 1.5 is scored out of a perfect 10 since the new rule changes this year. So the 9.75 for McNear, then a 9.85 for Brannon. I mean, a 9.9 for Brannon after Guerrero's 9.85. So good scores. See LSU's on the floor, Auburn on the bars, Florida on the beam, and Alabama on the vault, all going simultaneously.
It's nice to see the calm face on Lauren Beers. The place went crazy on Kelsey Kopech's dismount, and I see why. Moments ago, she just nailed a perfect landing after that bar routine.
Kurt Henninger, the coach on bars for Auburn, proud of that routine. Lauren Beers has this look of calm in her face as she gets set for the vault.
The calm before the storm, because it's a big vault for them. She has scored a 10 this season.
She's had a little bit of an up and down senior year, hasn't she?
It has been. It's definitely been, especially after last year. She was such the workhorse for them in the all-around. But she's worked through so much and come up big often. Oh, the vault was beautiful. She had to take the step, couldn't quite get the stick. But it was a very nice vault in the air. Nice block off the table. Good, clean, tight twist. Much cleaner than her teammates on that 1.5 twist, but she did take that step.
Okay, that brings up McKenna Kelly for LSU on the floor.
Opens big with a double layout. And one thing she really works on is controlling those landings. Got a lot of bounce, got a lot of pep in her step.
Guess we know why.
Yes.
Her mother is Mary Lou Retton, 1984 Olympic all-around champion, who's in the house today.
Nice front layout to front fold. Beautiful landing there. Here's her leap sequence. That's gotten so much better throughout the course of the season, much cleaner in the position. Look at the height. Little bit of a little bounce on that landing. But she showed off some great amplitude. Bounce in her step. And a real bounce on the floor. There it is.
Mama Mary Lou. 9.75 for Sydney Ewing before her. And then Maya Hamrick a 9.8. So McKenna Kelly does her part, trying to help LSU win their first SEC title since 1981. Take a breath, Mary Lou. Okay, Alicia Boren on the beam now for Florida.
Well, they have a string of 9.875s leading up to this routine.
All three routines, 9.875. Baker, Ernst, and Fassbender. Well done.
Alicia has been so consistent, especially as a freshman. Whoop, little stutter step, just a tiny one. Pretty good position in those leaps.
Really interesting what Coach Jenny Rowland has done coming into this program, the three-time reigning champions under Ronna Fain. She had a meeting with the team and says, okay, you tell me how good you want to be and I'll help you get there. And so this team has a sense of ownership of their destiny this year. It's pretty impressive.
Very solid routine, nicely done.
And on the bars, just starting now, Caitlin Atkinson from Auburn, and they're doing a heck of a job over there. Kate Klutz had a 9.8, Abby Millay a 9.85.
Watch this dismount, it's a big one.
Oh!
Drops from the sky.
What a rotation.
I don't think I've ever seen her do it other than that way. Way up high and just drills the landing.
So Auburn started big on floor, bobbled some landings on vault, but boy did they rock bars.
Big time right there. That's as big as it gets.
Joining in progress now, Jessica Savona for LSU. By the way, McKenna Kelly, a 9.925.
Such great difficulty in these tumbling passes. I know that Dee Bro was happy to get Jessica Savona back in the lineup on floor exercise for moves like that. Finish strong with pike double back.
Savona, six-time Canadian national team member. And Alex McMurtry just starting the beam for Florida.
Beautiful on her series. What's so nice about Alex is her posture, really straight legs. Always a crowd-pleasing move there.
So after the three 9.875s for Florida, Alicia Boren gets a 9.9.
Nice to see her hold on to that full turn. The little subtle, tiny little corrections you have to make to keep this routine, keep balance being moving, fluid. Beautiful setup into that double twist. I love the way she stalls before the twist, showing off great technique.
Florida has 5 very well hit beam routines, and they're in the lead coming into this rotation.
Boy, when you hit beam like this, you're just a hard-to-beat team.
All right, Bridget Kaquato's sister Mackenzie there in the front row cheering them on. Good for that. Alex McMurtry will be doing the all-around tonight. We'll be eager to see her on the floor later as we go back to LSU on the floor. This is Randy Wyrick.
And they have back-to-back 9.925s. Jessica Savona added hers to that list of very solid scores. 2 huge ones.
Remember, LSU is currently in third, 0.35 behind the leader, Florida, coming into this rotation.
They've all shown the big E tumbling passes to open their routines. So again, keeping that level of difficulty. Nice 3-element combination. Ashley Claire Coney is the choreographer for this team.
As Wyrick is finishing, Bridget Sloan starting on the beam for Florida. She's their anchor performer. By the way, McMurtry's score is in. It's a 9.95.
Incredible setup.
Oh, my goodness.
Darn. She has struggled for whatever reason this season on this event, and it's her event.
On a variety of different moves, too.
Yes, yes. It's just something she will have to figure it out.
Once again, Florida has 5 really high-scoring hit routines. So in terms of team scoring, it's not critical that she made this mistake, but as you can see on her face, she's not happy.
And typically she's a gymnast who can absolutely go after perfection. But when you've had the trouble she's had to figure out a different mentality to try to figure that puzzle out. Because she's a phenomenal gymnast, a phenomenal balance beam worker. But she'll have to figure this puzzle out.
What do you think happened here, Kathy?
I can't get into her head. It's in her head. You know, it's just because she can do that skill like no one else in the world. She's usually very, very solid on all her skills, and these are easy for her. Nothing in this routine is hard for her. She's
been in pressure situations many times. Former world all-around champion, Olympic medalist, NCAA champion. She's done it all.
It's just a fact. It's senior year. She wants it so badly, not just for herself, but for her team, most important.
Speaking of perfect 10s, Ashley Natt, as we said, she scored 5 perfect 10s this year. And we have been thrilled by her perfect 10s on floor. Let's see what she can come up with today.
She does it with tumbling difficulty and just so much energy on every step.
Wendy Ryrick scores in 9.9. Oh.
Dropped that right in, showed off the stick, not just stuck the landing, but showed it off. It's a great pass. One of my favorite, actually. 2.5 twists. Bounds right out of it into a punch front. Nice open position. And then just flies through these leaps and jumps.
This event is really symbolic of the LSU program. Very explosive, dynamic routines across the board.
And they put a lot into the routines. Every beat of the music is choreographed with a step or two, actually. Finishes with pike double back. Very, very nice height. Excellent control, just like we've seen all season. Wow. And she did a little dab there. Pointed to her teammates first. And finishes with the Tiger Roar.
Gymnastics fans might remember that her dad, Ray, was an All-American gymnast at LSU. Her mother, a 1972 Olympian.
And they must love to see their daughter put her head down like she does before she runs and just goes at it full bore.
Okay, Florida had a spectacular rotation on beam, except for the performance of Bridget Sloan. Came in at a 9.15. Laura is with Coach Jenny Rowland now.
All right, thanks, Barton. Coach, you make a coaching move to bring in Peyton Ernst into the lineup. Walk us through your thought process there.
You know what? We worked out yesterday. We train today. And a couple weeks ago, Peyton re-injured her shoulder a little bit. Hasn't been able to train like she has been in the past. So we thought we'd give an opportunity to another athlete. But you know what? She looked at me and she told me, she said, Jenny, I've got this. I can do this. So you know what? I took a chance and trusted her, and it definitely paid off.
This team in the lead as you head into floor. What's the key to keeping this momentum going?
You know what? Just having fun. When this team is loose, they are on their game, they're on point, and having so much fun. And I can't wait to see the next 6 routines.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Bart?
Okay, well, we've had a lot of thrills here tonight so far, and Ashley Nat, her 4th 10 in the last 5 meets. She got a 10 for her performance on the floor. What a thrill. LSU goes to one of their best events, the vault, in the 4th and final rotation. And coming up, we'll follow the story of Ivy and Zach through Swoon, brought to you by... Okay, the 3rd of 4 rotations is in. Florida 148.35, Alabama 148.2, LSU 148.125, and Auburn 147.725. Jenna Brissett got in the vault lineup this week, Kathy.
And got to throw her vault half on, front pike, and came up with a great landing. Nice to see that vaulting competition. So exciting to see Auburn come back strong on the bars, and Kate Clues just went for it big time here and brought her team to its feet. This was a beautiful clutch performance. All of the routines were. Alex McMurtry came up big, nailed the landing. And, well, what can you say? What more can you say about this floor routine? It's been an amazing season so far. Ashley Nat does it again. Huge tumbling, great difficulty, perfect landings, and a 10-0.
Oh, yeah, that just adds to the drama as we get set for the 4th and final rotation. Get this, folks. The top 3 teams are separated by less than 0.3 of a point. Final routines when we come back to North Little Rock.
Rock, the final rotation on the way. I'm joined by LSU head coach Dee Bro. And Dee, your team has continued to show fight throughout this one. Ashley Nat with another 10. What can you say about that performance on floor?
It was beautiful, and it answered the momentum thing we've been asking for this whole meet. We just haven't had any traction. Bugs just went out and hit it out of the park, but she had some good routines leading into it, and I think that helped a lot.
This is still so tight, and as you head into one of your better rotations in vault, what is the key for this team to continue to get the amplitude they've shown all year?
It's the same thing. It's how they approach the board, their position off the board, good open shoulders. When they leave the horse, they got to stick landings. I mean, it's a close meet at this point, but we've got a little momentum. Let's see if we can keep it.
The excitement building, Bart. Thanks, Dee.
Thank you.
Okay, well, LSU has been in this situation before. Let's see if they can control their explosive energy and stick those landings on vault. Remember, this is close. The top 3 teams separated by less than 0.3 of a point. All 4 teams going simultaneously. Alabama goes to the bars. They've been here before. 2 previous SEC championships. They came in qualified 3rd seeded into this meet and won it right here on bars.
Strong opening right there, just perfect height and distance on that release move. They need to strive for perfection. They have to hit every single handstand. And every landing is going to matter. Oh, little hop. This is going to be so tight. It just is, every little thing is going to count up, especially when you have LSU over there sticking their first vault off. You can hear the energy in the arena.
Sydney Ewing will be next up for LSU on the vault.
And they started with Juliana Canamella, who stuck the landing, did exactly what she needed to do to set this 1.5 twist up by Sydney Ewing. Big vault, but a big step, too.
Okay, that's what they're going to have to control to get the big scores. There's no question they can fly these vaults. The question, can they handle the landings when they're amped up like this? Lauren Beer set to go for Alabama on the bars.
Now, this is a great story. Lauren was in the lineup, as she was all last year on this event. Then early in the season had some troubles. She had to earn her spot back in this lineup, and she has worked so hard. Looks great so far. So aggressive, going after the handstand. See if she can get this double front. Hard to land, but boy, does she fight for that landing.
Okay, and Keely McNear led them off with a 9-8. Sarah Finnegan, we saw her nail a beam routine. Here she is on vault for LSU.
A pretty vault in the air, just a little step back. Not quite getting the sticks that they want. Not the perfect ones, but boy, they're pretty in the air.
Alicia Boren now for Florida on floor. This is fast and furious in the fourth and final rotation.
And what Florida needs to do, obviously hit their tumbling passes. They've got good difficulty. Stay in bounds. Do not give away a tenth of a point by stepping over those lines.
Florida in the driver's seat in the fact that they have the lead. And they survived beam. Oh!
Half in, half out.
Boy.
Stayed in bounds. Kind of questioned the landing just ever so slightly. It's the one thing you can't be is careful on your landings on floor. You have to be confident.
Alicia Bourne, spectacular freshman year out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Former U.S. national team member.
Much better landing on the middle pass. All right, she pulled it out. I can tell she's being cautious on those landings. Didn't want to over-rotate.
Maya Hambrick set to vault for LSU. The scores there: Kenamela 9.875, Ewing 9.875, Sarah Finnegan at 9.85.
Beautiful vault. Just a little shift of that right foot. She slid it back ever so slightly. It's one thing that's very easy for the judges to see because they are sitting really eye level of the vault. They are on a raised platform as well, but not quite as high as they normally would be in a dual competition.
Jessica Savona before her, a 9.85. So LSU has two 9.85s and two 9.875s with two gigantic vaults coming up at the end of the rotation. They'll finish first of the top three teams here, and we'll know what scores the others have to beat if they're going to win this title tonight.
We're seeing Amanda Jeter on the uneven bars for Alabama.
Katie Bailey before her just notched a 9.95. Ashley Natt getting set to go for LSU on the vault. We've seen her score perfect tens before. She's one of the few gymnasts in the country that does the double twisting, Yurchenko. #1 in the nation here.
Huge vault. Didn't get the stick this time, but boy, is it a nice one in the air and so difficult. She does it so easily, just flies off of the table, cranks two twists, gets those legs back together, which is nice, opens up, even has time to look for the floor before she lands.
Alex McMurtry, we saw when she made her all-around debut as a collegiate gymnast down in Gainesville. It was a thrill to see her do her floor routine. We've mentioned before that she has some stress fractures in her back, which has limited her training. She only trains floor exercise every 2 weeks. Hard to believe when you watch her tumble.
And limits her warm-up. Well, she's got a triple twist that's like...
It's one of the best in the world.
Absolutely. Watch the height on it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic.
Excellent.
Let's go down to Laura.
Well, Bart, Bridget Sloan said, if I tried to run into a triple twist like Alex does, I'd be flying all over the place. She talked about her power and control and her ability to get so much height, but also control it. Great compliment coming from a very talented teammate.
She gets such good block to set that triple full up in the air.
I think what's actually more remarkable is that she does full floor routines in competition with such limited training. She has a double back at the end of the routine, takes a lot of endurance, and she just does the training she needs to do cardiovascularly, muscularly, so that she can pull this off in competition. Tuck double back.
All right.
Nicely done.
So the all-around for Alex McMurtry. 4 all-arounders for the Florida Gators. Alabama, by the way, doing a heck of a job on bars. Amanda Jeter notched a 9.9 moments ago. Kiana Winston.
And Katie Bailey came up with a huge 9.95. Boy, did they need that big score in the middle of the lineup.
Wow.
Nice form, good float on that pack salto down to the low bar. Showing great amplitude, nice form. Very patient on that kip cast to handstand. Double layout and just drills that landing right into the mat.
Scores in for Kiana Winston, a 9.95. Quickly to Auburn on the beam. Lexus Demers. Cullen Lawick set them up with a 9.8. Samantha Serio, unfortunately, a 9.275. Taylor Krittner, a 9.7. Matt Brennan for Alabama on the bars at the same time.
And it was a sensational routine from the very start, and you saw the finish.
Hey, man, this thing is close. These teams are so close coming into the final rotation, and Bridget Sloan goes to the floor for Florida.
1.5 twist through to a 2.5 twist.
She says she competes better when she's a little angry. Well, I'm sure she's disappointed in her performance on the beam. Alex McMurtry notched a 9.9. Alicia Bourne a 9.775. Grace McLaughlin set them up with a 9.8 in the leadoff position.
Here's where her pike double back is. Well done. I remember back to her freshman year when she had a fall on beam, and one of her older teammates pulled her aside and said, "We can still win this team competition. You are not going to know what it feels like until you do that as a team." And she fought back for the team, learning lesson there. And now as a senior, she's in a position to do just the same, come back from the disappointment on beam and be a leader. Perfect finish of this routine. Good for her. This is a lot of twisting in one pass. 1.5 twist, all the way through to a 2.5 twist.
Okay. Abby Millay for Auburn now on the beam. Currently in 4th of the 4 teams in this session. Started spectacularly on floor, a little bit, let's say, missed opportunity on landings on vault. Very nice job on bars.
That was a beautiful leap into the jump, the nice position she shows in the air. And she's following Lexus Demers, who we saw do so well and come up with a 9.9. Big score for Auburn there. nice to see that fight in there. It wasn't perfectly straight, but she fought all the way through to the finish of that aerial walkover.
Kennedy Baker, one of the 4 all-arounders for Florida. She's set to go on the floor. Bridget Sloan came back with a great 9.925 after the fall on beam.
Nice finish there on beam. Now watch this first pass. Arabian double in open pike position. Oh, she stayed in bounds. That's
just
huge.
Barely. Ooh.
That is huge. That's the one thing they cannot do. They will take a little deduction for the large step.
Remember, the top 2 teams separated by just 15/100ths of a point coming into this final rotation. Florida and Alabama. And Alabama did a huge job on bars. It's going to come down to Florida here.
Is as intense as it gets. Look at the gorgeous open body position in her tumbling. Showing off nice position in the air on the leaps. Doesn't want to leave anything to chance. Trying to show those judges the positions they need to see. She finishes with her combination pass and does it so well, finishing with that straddle jump. Really, really strong routine. Only deduction that's significant enough to even talk about is that step out of the first pass.
Abby Millay had a 9.9 on beam after Alexis Demers for Auburn. So Caitlin Atkinson, their final performer there.
And she could be so tough on this event. She was a beam finalist at the NCAAs. Very capable of a lot of difficulty on this event. Used to do a pike double back dismount that was phenomenal, but also took a toll on her foot. So they've wisely changed that dismount. And she does her difficulty within the routine. So far, she is very solid. She now dismounts off the side right here. Or in a combination pass, sorry. Aerial cartwheel into a full twist. Instead of the double back, and boy, that made her happy. Well done. Very good competition.
Oh, she has been emotional all weekend long here. We've seen it in her eyes. You know, she's feeling the sense that it's senior time. Bridget Caquato will be the final performer in tonight's competition. Kennedy Baker's score comes in as a 9.925 after Bridget Sloan's 9.925. You see the scores there on your right.
And for Bridget Caquato, this is like deja vu all over again, because she needs a
9.875 to win it for Florida. She has been here before. We've seen her nail it. We've seen her step out of bounds.
She can't do either of those here. Wow, very nicely done. One of their better passes. The key is going to be in this middle tumbling run. It's a nice pass. She ends it with a split jump, and she must be in complete control of the jump in the air. No arm swing.
9.85 is the number she needs. We've recalculated. Oh, nice. Oh, she stayed in bounds.
She stayed in bounds.
Oh, my goodness. How many times has she been in this scenario as the anchor performer?
Have we all been in this scenario? Everyone biting their nails on the sidelines.
9.85 or better wins it. Alabama was amazing on the bars. They have a 197.725. They will finish ahead of LSU, but Florida can win it all right here.
Pike double back.
That probably does it.
Well,
oh my goodness.
It wasn't perfect. I'd say if she had to score a 9.9 or better, it would be, all in the judges' hands, obviously.
All right, let's take a look at these landings. They are critical more than ever. Boy.
She handled that even though she was a little stiff-legged on the punch in between.
Under-rotated a little bit. Could have been a disaster.
See this from another angle. 1.5 twists. She controlled her arms better. You're right. She fought to stay inbounds.
How about this last pass? We've seen this so many times. Can she make this?
Definitely teeny tiny deductions. Whether they add up to over a 10th, that's up to the judges. She looked for that landing, fought to keep her chest up and get into that controlled lunge.
The assistant coach, Adrian Burde, fist pumping. He thinks it's enough. Okay, it's in the hands of the judges. Alabama essentially 197.725. Leader in the clubhouse. And the score comes in for Bridget Caquato. Oh, wait a minute. We are seeing a 9.875. The athletes are just like us. We're waiting. Wow. Alabama, 3 years in a row, comes in 3rd place. Finishes on bars spectacularly. They have a 197.725. Guaranteed they finish ahead of LSU. But will Florida win it all? It comes down to what number does Bridget Caquato get? The SEC Conference is double-checking the scores.
When it says
9.85 or better.
They want to make it completely official.
Wow.
No questions asked.
Oh my goodness, this is agony. 3 times national champions, 9 times SEC champions. If the score is 9.85 or better, they will win their 10th SEC championship and their first under first-year head coach Jenny Rowland, who came from Auburn last year after Rhonda Fain moved on to USA Gymnastics to work with the Olympic team. Jenny Rowland moved over from Auburn to take the reins at the reigning national champion program. Alabama, under the leadership for 36 years of Sarah and David Patterson, of a legendary program. Now Dana Duckworth in her 2nd season as their head coach. LSU will finish 3rd under the coaching of Dee Dee Bro in her 39th year. A couple of missed opportunities for LSU in terms of landings.
One missed routine on bars that could have been a big one.
Right.
But there were little things. I'm so impressed with the fight of all these teams, especially working through the little mistakes that are inevitably going to happen in gymnastics. You're not going to be perfect. It's how you respond in every given situation, how you fight through and don't give up anything you don't have to give up.
Keep in mind, look at the scores. Florida floor 197.675 is posted there.
Nice to see.
But that's the first 5 routines. That's not including the score of Bridget Caquato, the final performer. So the low score of a 9.775 would be dropped if Caquato's score is higher than that. It certainly is. But we need confirmation on what the exact number is, because this baby is close.
I walked up to Jenny to say, congratulations.
You can hear a pin drop. You can hear a pin drop in here.
Boy, all 4 teams put a lot of heart and soul in today's competition. You know, we've talked about the regular season, but boy, when it comes down to the SEC title, This is so enormously important to these young ladies.
Absolutely. And one thing we have to stress, yes, it's coming down to this one last performance, this one last routine. But it's not really. It's the total of all the routines put together. You're talking 5 scores every event for every school. So to scrutinize this one final little score is really hard on everyone.
Let's go down to Laura. Laura, we're dying up here. You doing okay?
It's been hilarious down here. Actually, Dana Duckworth just came over to Jenny Rowland, gave her a huge hug, and they were hugging and laughing, and they're both like, we don't know who won. Does anybody know? They're looking around, asking everyone. So they're just as, the suspense is just as real for them as it is for us, you guys.
That didn't help us much, Laura. Oh, my goodness. You want to go on a limb and see if she got it? Kathy Johnson-Clark?
You really want me out there on that limb.
You don't have to commit.
I will tell you it's between a 9.8 and a 9.875 is my guess. I don't think it's up toward the 9.9 level, so
right. She probably had enough to do it, but we'll see what the judges came up with. A win would be a huge moment for that coach, Jenny Rowland, in her first year taking over the reins at Florida. What an incredible day of gymnastics. We had session 1 where Georgia did a great job to win that session. The other 3 teams had, in fact, their best scores ever in the SEC championship. Then we come down to session 2 with 4 of the top 6 teams in the country in this session. This is a preview of the NCAA championships, which are just about a month away from Fort Worth, Texas, and expect more fireworks there as well, Kathy.
And though this wait is horrible, it's great to be able to remark on, forget the scores, forget the finish. That's going to be important, and we're going to see this huge explosion of emotion here. But they've all competed so well.
This is like those reality shows.
Yes.
You know, where they say, and the winner is, and then they play the music for 30 seconds, and they cut around everybody. And then they finally reveal it. They just tease you. Okay.
Come on, man.
Kennedy Baker says, oh, come on.
The collective hearts in this arena that are just waiting to soar or just, so close. It's
so much parity in SEC gymnastics and women's college gymnastics. It's a great product. It's so fun. So many of these meets come down to sort of buzzer beater scenarios, and that's what I love about women's collegiate gymnastics. It's one of the best products in the world.
Yeah, this is like seeing whether the basketball went in before the final tick of the clock.
Okay, here comes the score. And there it is. We have it. Wait till Florida gets it. Florida wins. Caquado gets a 9.875. So by 5/100ths of a point, Florida gets their first team title since 2013 and their 10th SEC championship overall. Wow, what a thriller.
And then the stunned looks. This is a hard way to finish a competition. It's thrilling, it's exciting, it's the anticipation. Agonizingly wonderful. Do those go together?
Top 3 teams separated by less than 0.3 of a point, and those are 3 of the finest teams in the country. Wow, what a night of gymnastics. That was agonizing. Well, when we come back, we'll talk to the champions and wrap this one up. Woo!
You've got the motivation. Now, how do you track your goals? Introducing the all-new
And one more time, the final score. 2016 SEC Gymnastics Championship. Florida gets their 10th SEC title by 5/100ths of a point over Alabama, who won it the 2 previous years, LSU 3rd and Auburn 4th. And our Laura Rutledge is with the winning coach, Florida's Jenny Rowland.
All right, thanks so much, Bart and Coach. Kind of some agonizing moments there waiting for that final score. What was that like for you?
You know what? Our girls got together, our team got together, and we said no matter what, we had the best time tonight. And it was another moment. It was another step in the process. And you know what? It was an amazing process. And it was a moment that I will cherish forever for the rest of my life. And I'm so incredibly proud of this team. They have fought through adversity and have done anything and everything that the coaching staff has asked them to do. And I couldn't be more proud of them.
Why is this moment emotional for you?
Why is this moment emotional for me? First time head coach, first time SEC win, and first time that I am able to be a part of a team of girls that are my own, that mean the world to me. And I can't express my gratitude and everything that they've done and been through, and just very proud of them.
Thank you so much. Enjoy this one. Let's bring in one of those girls right now, Bridget Sloan. And Bridget, you were telling me before that Little Rock is good to you. You were here your freshman year and you won, and then now you do it again. What is it about this place?
You know, it's just a great place to compete. We love the arena, but you know, coming in today, we all knew that we were capable of it. And again, I did not have the best meet of my life, but my team is incredible. They were behind me 100%, and after I got off the beam, they were like killing on the floor, and I was like, you know what? Thank you. I was like, I'm going to. And it's incredible what you can do when you have your team behind you. I mean, obviously we're all individuals. When we're up on that equipment, it's just us and the equipment, but having an incredible team behind you, it makes all the difference.
How have you changed from your freshman year here? When you look back on that version of Bridget Sloan to what you are now?
The person I am today, I've grown up a lot. My freshman year, I was very naive about everything about college gymnastics. I normally had no idea what was going on half the time, which that hasn't changed much. But just coming off of an event, so say freshman year, if I would have fallen on beam, I would not have been able to come back strong on floor. But it's amazing what the little things, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, and Jenny was like, you work so much better under pressure. And I was like, I know. I was like, I really know. But it's little things like that we're just going to go back in the gym and work on. But freshman year to now, it's night and day change. I mean, I've just grown up so much as a person, so much as an athlete. I mean, UF has been and was the best decision of my life.
Thanks so much. Enjoy this one.
Thanks.
All right, congratulations to Bridget Sloan and her teammates at Florida. They've won 3 times the NCAA championship, and they will be one of the favorites going into the next one. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up.
I think that she is beautiful. And it all comes down to this. She's so lovely, 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 she's so lovely.
At Regions Bank, we're here to help you move your life forward. But managing money correctly can be tough, especially for college students. That's why we sometimes bring in some extra help.
Young lady, you are way too smart to hit that order button.
Well, it all comes down to this. A season's worth of hard work, sacrifices, and dedication will all boil down to one day. In the world of collegiate gymnastics, few things hold more prestige than an NCAA championship. Don't miss the best teams and athletes in the country collide with a national title on the line. The NCAA championship, April 15 and 16 at Fort Worth Convention Center in Fort Worth, Texas, and we will be there to cover it. Oh, what a day of gymnastics. Bart Connor with Kathy Johnson-Clark. It started out with session 1. Georgia won it, and the other 3 teams had their best scores ever in the SEC championships. Then this one came down to the last landing of the last gymnast, and the team that placed fourth, Auburn, had their best score ever in the SEC championships. This was an epic year, but it was agonizing at the end, wasn't it?
Of course, it came down to that last routine, the last landing, the last everything, but I can't emphasize enough how outstanding all the gymnastics was. The fight and the heart that every single team, all 8 of them, showed in the SEC championships is amazing. And it wasn't just one routine, one score that counted. We're talking 20 scores per team that they had to come up with. And you could go back and analyze and reanalyze and everything. It was amazing. It was fantastic. The finish was agonizing for everyone, but it was a great competition.
Now, LSU is explosive and dynamic. They're going to be poised to try to win a national title. Alabama was so close. They nailed bars for the 3rd year in the row in the last rotation, but Florida came up big in the last couple of performances to win it all. So they get their 10th NCAA SEC championship, and they will be poised for another shot at an NCAA title a month from now down in Fort Worth, Texas. So coming up next is SEC Now. So for Kathy Johnson-Clark and Laura Rutledge, I'm Bart Connor saying so long from Little Rock, Arkansas. The University of Florida wins the SEC championship. If you'd like to see the award ceremony, it's available through ESPN app and watch ESPN on the SEC Plus network channels. See you soon.